7 o'clock in the morning, July 4th, 2010. Standing in the attic of the new house. I know the lighting isn't that great, but I wanted to get in here and get some pictures before the icing or foam people come in. They're going to be in here this morning and start foaming the rafters. In this house we have 2x8 rafters and 2x10 ridge rafters, I guess you could call them, and they're going to be filling the house or the roof right underneath the roof, 8 inches deep, in a foam product that will essentially encapsulate the house, very much like you might think of a styrofoam ice cooler, such that the temperature in this attic will be within 5 degrees of what the temperature is in the house. All of our air conditioning ducting that you can see running through the house will therefore run through a conditioned space, and so there won't be that loss of cooling or loss of heat due to heat transfer that you would find in a normal attic that might be down here in the south during the summer 140 or more degrees hot. On top of the roof, I'll show you later in another movie, we have a reflective aluminum metal roofing that reflects most of the heat before it even gets in here. And what's also nice about that is in the evening, where a normal asphalt roof will retain the heat and continue to cook for quite some time after the sun has gone down, this will dissipate any retained heat rapidly, therefore making your cooling system more efficient. What we've done in the upper part of the house, and hopefully again you can see some of this, maybe looking over here to a lighter spot is easier. Out in this direction are rear porches, and what we've done is everything's been closed off up here. You can see where plywood has been sheathed all the way up to the base of the roof. They will come in and fill some of those openings right there with fiberglass, and then those walls get sprayed, and it's to keep any outside heat transfer out also. So that was quite a deal in preparation for that. All these walls, you can see this long wall over here that was framed up to allow this process, and you can also see some of Scott's construction before it's pretty much hidden forever. This is the exhaust pipe for our gas cooktop, which will be going down in this area here. That's looking down into the kitchen. The other nice thing is if you need to do any kind of maintenance or anything like that up here after the house is built, it's a piece of cake. You won't get hot getting up in here, and it's going to be easy to walk around. There's going to be no ceiling insulation that you're traditionally used to. You can see lots of our pre-wire for alarm systems and stereo systems. Maybe you can pick that up. A lot of the other wiring running down here. You can see some of the cabling over there. It'll be easily accessible with no problem. Just looking at this one line and wondering what it is. But anyway, so easy access to all your electrical fixtures and so on. Any problems again with air conditioning or wiring, you can see there's wire bundled on these posts. Over there's the master bedroom and the great room, and a lot of wires bundled there for sound. So when we do surround sound and all that, you can see some of the wiring running up here. So it's all going to be easily accessible. It's not going to be lost in your insulation, and you're not going to have to get up in a blistering hot attic to get to it. This is our air conditioning unit. It's a Train, top of the line. This is the air handler. And what we've done is the subfloor here is 2x12s. And we have a 50-year, it's called Advantech, tongue and groove 3/4 plywood. I know it's a little dark in it. It runs over here into the storage space that we built over the garage. It allows you then to put your air conditioning system, if you were to have a water heater or something. We do not have a water heater. It would allow you to store it all upstairs out of the way. It doesn't clutter up your garage or other portions of your house. The refrigerant line, this is kind of a neat design after the fact, but the refrigerant line runs up and over and goes out the side of the house. I can see they started to do some foaming already, or fiberglassing. You can see in the rafters where it meets the top of the sill wall, they've started to fill it with fiberglass. This line here and this line over here will come together in this area where we'll have an air exchanger. They call it an ERV, and I never got what it really stands for, but essentially the house will be quite tight, and this will allow for the drawing in and the of good air and the exhalation of the bad air. So that'll be a nice add-on. This here, what you see here, this is a vent that goes to a second master bath. It's the exhaust vent and light, and that's going to get tied in with this vent that runs over to the master bath and this vent that is in the powder room. Those three will get tied into this same system of air exchange. Then built into this unit is a whole house air cleaner. You'll never have to change filters or anything like that. Removes pretty much all of any kind of contaminants. And then in this area there'll be a whole house dehumidifier, humidifier type setup. Up here, this will be shut off. We'll have a normal fire door up here, but that will keep this whole compartment and the rest of the house separate from outside. This is up over the attic where we've been storing materials and so on. And this will be used for storage. You can see, and we're going to actually have some air conditioning run by a damper that'll go out to the garage area, so we'll be able to keep the garage relatively cool. All these gable walls are going to be foamed. This is going to be foamed out here. This is going to take R30 bats just down over the garage, but you can see the size of the lumber that we put into this. These are 2x12s. And then these are knee walls that Scott built. And every one of these rafters was trued up, crowned, leveled, you name it. And so it's just incredible how it's built. You can see hopefully some of the strapping that goes on the rafters and top plate of the wall. I'll have to end this one pretty quick or I won't be able to upload it. And we were allowed by a code for the city that supersedes the business code, or not the business code, the International Building Code, and it allows you to build this permanent stairway in here, which typically you're not allowed to do. You have to use some kind of drop down. So I don't know what that was made out of, again, 2x10s, 2x12, something like that. And we had to have the sheetrockers come in and do this portion real quickly because they need to blow foam up against this portion of the wall where this is where you come in out of the garage into the it actually leads into a laundry room and then into hallways and everything. Let me end this one and then I'll start another one for the follow-on. And here's the people that are going to show up here this morning.